Good morning, Internet. So apparently, if I make a video without a shirt on and my shoulders are just showing, I'm classified as an attention-whoring slut. Didn't see that one coming, but nonetheless, I do have a shirt on, so I won't appear very sluttish to you people out there on the internet. Actually, no, I have a shirt on because there's a really cold breeze right now, and I'm actually kind of cold, although there is sun out. So I've made several videos on religion, some older videos that I have. I'm going to be making a lot more videos on religion, but I think it's very important that I get this out there right off the bat. I will never make a video attempting to prove the existence of God. Now you're probably wondering why, but because I think it's pointless. I will be making videos in the future expressing why I believe in God, but I will never attempt to force or prove God's existence to you. What you believe is what you believe. I am not going to be like the majority of creationists and make it my goal to try to convert someone to believe in God. It's just, I'm not interested in doing that. There are so many creationists and Christians who are on YouTube with the full intent on proving God's existence, and there are so many atheists on YouTube who are adamant on disproving God's existence. So I made a video the other day titled Why I Am a Christian, and in this video I was simply sharing my story, my testimony. It was not meant to prove God, it was not meant to debate God's existence, it wasn't anything like that. I was just sharing my story. I made it so clear. But I can guarantee you that the majority of people who commented didn't watch the full video, because the majority of the people who watched it happened to be atheists and made a lot of assumptions, which I even clarified and made corrected in the video that I made. But yet, people still made the same assumptions over and over again. And that's not their fault. My video was 40 minutes in length, so I don't blame them assuming all these different things. But I was shocked to read some of the comments that I was receiving from atheists. Atheists who I would actually consider them to be militant atheists, and I'm against any type of militant mentality towards anything. There are militant Christians, there are militant atheists, and a large majority of people commenting were militant atheists based upon the things that they were saying to me, as in they're dedicating their time to their atheism and they want to force their atheism on me. But most of all, the most common thing which I'm addressing in this video is that we need to abolish all religion. If religion was to be abolished, there would be no evil. There would be no God, because without God, without that deity up in the sky, evil wouldn't exist. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making that one up. There were plenty of comments by atheists claiming that if I wasn't a Christian, and if I didn't believe in God, and if religion was abolished, there would be no evil in this world today. And this is a video response to those atheists who think that. The video title is Religion and Violence, and we're going to be investigating the real cause of violence and immorality in our world today. So I must ask the question, does Orthodox religion equal violence? I'm not sure how many people are a fan of Christopher Hitchens, but he wrote a book titled God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. In his book, he has a chapter titled Religion Kills, and he goes on to argue all the personal accounts of violence in countries such as Bombay, Bethlehem, Baghdad, Belfast, Beirut. His argument, though, is that religion takes racial and cultural differences and then aggravates them. Religion is unlike racism, he says. One version of it inspires and provokes the other. Religion has an enormous multiplier of tribal suspicion and hatred. And I must admit, Christopher Hitchens' point here is rather fair. Religion transcendentalizes ordinary cultural differences, so that some parties may feel as if they are in a cosmic battle between what is known as good and what is known as evil. This is why Christopher Hitchens argues religion poisons everything. So it would seem that that is true. After all, Christian nations have institutionalized imperialism, violence, and oppression through the Inquisition and the African slave trade. The totalitarian and militaristic Japanese Empire, for example, grew in the mid-20th century. Their culture was deeply influenced and rooted in Buddhism, and Shintoism. Islam today is responsible for many of the terrorist attacks that have happened, while Israel forces also have been extremely ruthless in the way they deal with problems too. Hindu nationalists, in their name of the religion, have taken bloody strikes against Christians and Muslim mosques. I mean, I could sit here all day and tell you different religions and the things that these religions have done that are pure evil and are pure violence. All of this evidence seems to indicate that religion aggravates human differences. It aggravates them so much till each religion boils over and they start war, violence, and oppression of minorities. However, though, there is a problem with this view. The communist Russia, Chinese, the Cambodian regimes, all of these occurred during the 20th century, all of which rejected organized religion and the belief in God. A forerunner of all of this was in fact the French Revolution, which rejected traditional religion for human reasons. These societies back then were all rational and secular. Each of these produced massive amounts of violence and killings of innocent people. And guess what? They had no influence of organized religion, and they did not believe in God. But why did they kill people? Why did they produce these amounts of violence towards innocent lives? I want to point out something though. When the idea of God is gone, people will transcentralize, I believe that's the right word I'm using, I'm not sure if it's the correct one. They will transcentralize something else, some other concept, in order to appear either more morally superior, or in even some cases, spiritually superior. The Marxists, for example, made the state into an absolute, while Nazism did it for pure race and blood. And believe it or not, even the ideals of liberty and equality can be used in this way in order to do violence towards its opponents. 1973, Madame Roland. She walked right up to that guillotine. She bowed to the statue personifying liberty in the place of the La Revolution, and said a very famous quote, "Liberty, what crimes have been committed in your name?" Violence done in the name of Christianity is a terrible, horrendous thing. It is a reality, and it needs to be addressed and readdressed. There is absolutely no justification or excuse for it. But I just want to make it very clear to you atheists out there who think that religion is the primary evil that causes violence. In the 20th century, that violence has been inspired just as much as secularism has, as moral absolutism has. Societies that have rid themselves of all religion have been just as violent and oppressive as those people who are steeped in religion. So I ask, what can we conclude from this? For me personally, I think that there is some deeply rooted impulse in the human heart which expresses itself, whether it be socialist or capitalist, religious or irreligious, or whether it be individualistic or I can't say this word. Hierarchical. You know what I'm trying to say. It's the opposite of individualistic society. So the message of my video is this. With or without God, with or without religion, people are going to use ideologies, beliefs. They're also going to be using science. They'll even use science as a means to justify their immoral actions. Even if you atheists wanted to abolish all religion, it's not going to fix the problem of people being evil. People will be good and evil despite whether religion is abolished or not. And quite frankly, I don't believe abolishing religion would fix anything. The fact of the matter is this, is that violence and warfare is going to exist with or without God, with or without religion. People have even used a Darwinian society to justify their killing people of a weaker race, or if someone doesn't have as strong as genes as them, that they will go out and kill those people because they are, as Darwin would say, survival of the fittest, but because they're weaker, they therefore should be exterminated, completely misconstruing and misunderstanding Darwin. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Repzion, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. I hope this gave you a kind of a clear understanding is that religion is not the main source of evil, and people will use any ideology or any means necessary to justify their actions. It's not just religion. And if after this video you still hold the mentality that abolishing religion would rid of all evil, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. And I normally don't flat out say this, but you're wrong. You're flat out wrong. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Repsion, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. Peace the rep out, and I will have many more videos on religion coming up soon. I have a playlist down below in the description you can watch. I have several other videos on religion which a lot of people haven't seen, mainly because I didn't get my influx of new subscribers and they haven't really watched a lot of my older videos. So down below is a playlist. If you click that, you can watch my other 2 videos on religion that I've done. Each video I make on the topic of religion is in fact going to kind of be building off one another, and I do this for a reason, so it's important that you watch my other videos on religion so you can kind of understand where in fact I'm coming from. So, that said, peace the rep out. The power of darkness.